I've got a couple cheap cotton candy machines like this, and if I'm being honest, they don't really work that well. So over the years, I've kind of developed some really nice tricks to make it so this works amazingly well. The first thing I do is I take off this plastic part and I put this whole thing inside a tub like this. Now what that allows me to do is, instead of having just a couple inches to get all of the floss that comes out, I've got way more space using the tub. So instead of the cotton candy sticking to the wall like this and you get really pathetic cotton candy, when I put this in the tub, I have a lot more space and I get perfect cotton candy every single time. All you have to do is buy a tub that's big enough to fit the cotton candy machine. I drill a little hole through here so I can fit the cord. That's it. A nice bonus about this is I actually use the tub to put all my sugar, cotton candy machine, all the cones, everything in the tub, so I can store it in one place. And then if I ever need to take it to an event or a party, I've got everything in the tub ready to go. Another thing that helps out, especially with a cotton candy machine like this, is I have a smart socket. So if you're doing cotton candy at home, you can use a smart socket. I have this connected to our smart devices so I can use voice commands. So I can just say, turn off the cotton candy machine, or turn on the cotton candy machine. Turn on the cotton candy machine. Okay. Turn off the cotton candy machine. And this is really nice because I'm usually using two hands. When I want to turn the cotton candy machine off, I can do that using my voice. I don't have to flip the switch or anything like that. This just makes things really quick and easy. Another trick I do is useful if you ever run out of these cones. These are really inexpensive, but if you accidentally run out, you can always roll up a piece of paper and just tape it. That's all this is just a piece of paper taped up. But what I like to do even more than that is I cut up 1/2-inch PVC pipe and I will use this instead. I've looked online everywhere for reusable cones like this, and I've seen them in a couple places if you buy it with a whole entire kit, but I haven't found any place that sells plastic cones like this. But PVC is super inexpensive, and what I found that I really like about these is not only can you reuse it, but the shape of this makes it really easy to take the cotton candy off. So if you just want to hand out a thing of cotton candy or put it in a bag or something like that, super easy to do with this. The other nice thing about this is you can wash it off and dry it super quick, so you don't even need a whole lot of these. I always keep around 4. I have 4 boys, so it works perfectly. I don't necessarily think that these work better than this. You can usually spin this a little bit faster because of how small it is here, but it's more or less the same, and these work great. The last tip I want to share is about cotton candy sugar, or floss sugar, or whatever you call it. Now this generally isn't too expensive, but normal sugar is way less expensive than this. And if you ever run out of this, you might want to find a way to get flavored or colored sugar some other way. So I've experimented with a lot of different things to make my own floss. Before I tell you what has worked, let me tell you a few things that has not worked so you don't make the same mistake that I have made. The first thing I tried was just sugar drinks, so like this Country Time lemonade, or I mixed this Kool-Aid with sugar and I tried it that way. And in both instances, what seemed to happen is the powder in this prevented the sugar from melting as quick, so everything just ended up burning. I was able to get a little stuff to come out, but it really just was not that great because burnt cotton candy is not my favorite flavor of cotton candy. I also tried a sugar-free drink mix and mixed it with sugar to see if that would be any different, and in fact it did seem to work a little bit better. I made some of this is like a mango flavor, and we tried it out as a family and it really tasted like mango. It was actually pretty good, but it still had kind of the same problem where the sugar didn't melt as fast, so I wasn't able to get as much, so I just got a little bit of it. It works okay, but I wouldn't really recommend it. So what does work, the only thing that I have found is using extracts like this and food coloring. So you can put sugar in a jar and then add whatever extract you want, shake it up, add some food coloring as well if you would like. Now obviously because this is a liquid, it comes out kind of clumpy, and that makes the sugar a little bit more difficult to deal with. But once the sugar is actually in the spinning head, it actually works really well. I didn't have any problems with the sugar burning or anything like that. I tried a bunch of different flavors. I've tried mint, which is really good. It kind of tastes like a candy cane. Reminds me of Christmas. I've also tried maple, which obviously is amazing. I tried orange, which had basically no flavor, and I think that's mostly because I didn't add enough extract. One thing to point out is if you have a bigger or a commercial cotton candy machine, they usually have bigger openings in the spinning head, so you can kind of put the clumpy wet sugar in and it's not a problem. But on the cheap cotton candy machine that I have, this works best when the sugar is dry because it gets pushed to the side. And if it's clumpy or wet sugar, I found that most of the sugar went to waste. It just kind of flew off the thing. So one thing that I have done is I've made the flavored sugar beforehand. I make it in Ziploc bags. I can mix it a lot better with this. I usually add food coloring, not because I want it colored, but because it helps me to know when the extract has mixed well with the sugar. If everything's a consistent color, then I can assume that it's also a consistent flavor. So I'll mix everything in Ziploc bags, then I put it in my shed. I live in Utah, it's a desert, it's really dry. So after a while it dries up and it's just clumpy, and then you just break it up and then you have the flavored sugar. So you could use it in a future event or something like that. Hope these tips helped. Thanks for watching.